Asgard, how you doing? Just getting everything set up here. So, what I'm gonna start today off with, let me move over to the in-game with camera. I'm gonna start off by sending out the next batch of DPS channel invites, but I completely forgot to last week, and I got to get caught up. So, I'm gonna get started with that. I've already sent the ground channel invites out, and now I need to get the elites and prime ones sent out. Darthon, how you doing? Adriaz, how you doing? So let me get the commands. I've already got ground taken care of. I'm gonna grab the invites for elites, which is going to be quite a long list. Excel here. The list for elites has thousands and thousands of records for it, so it takes a very, very long time for it to load. I'm not sending out invites to each person on this list, but I basically take the list, take it over to Excel, taskbar over here for now. Then I'll just remove duplicates from the list. Walter, how you doing? Sam, I'm doing good. Just woke up not too long ago and got lots of dill farming to do, and hopefully some things have sold because I need to gamble. You guys know me. I like to gamble, and I haven't had some stuff selling for a little bit, so need to get me some keys. Okay, Wolves, I'm sorry, man. Your DPS is too low for an invite. Gotta get a higher number. Okay, so I think that was the. I don't know which table that was pulled from, but I just got to go through basically and copy this entire list. Of which there may be a few invites. Maybe just a few. Trees, thank you for becoming a channel member there. I'm sad nobody actually stopped by and brought a Slime Devil's Vandy Shield to your stream. I know you're a big fan of that. I'll catch up on chat here after I finish copying this list. I didn't quite realize this list was going to be this long. Yeah, that was 2,614 records. Okay, just a handful. Just a few. I'm just sending out the elites invites right now, and there's there's just a few of them, you know. Catch up on chat here. This thing wants to scroll up, that is. Terrible waking up this late in the day. I mean, I woke up around noon, so it's not completely terrible, but yeah, that is terrible. Spooky, how you doing? Oh no, Triz. Yeah, the last few days here, Sam, have been pretty nice here in Iowa, but we've got a bit of weather around us now. I'd like to have the windows open a bit more, but we've still got a little bit of rain hitting us here in Des Moines. So once this clears up, get some windows open and let it cool down in here. Pinch on now. Sorry, just getting caught up here. Asgard, I'm hoping too that there's no OP Muds pack coming out. I have looked, I'm not aware of anything coming out in the very near future, but who knows with Cryptic. Lord Bane, it's going good. Triz is over on Twitch when he streams, but in game he's usually on later at night. Oh no. Yeah, so yesterday we were trying to do runs, but I had slept very little. I was woken up early to help deal with my niece, and that did not bode well. I crashed pretty early last night when we were trying to do some ISE runs. Martin, I will probably just stick to the Infinity Lockbox as the overall return is better with it. Mud's bundle with the Terran warship in it, yes. Yeah, that'd be rough. The 26th century heavy dreadnoughts. That would be the Mud's bundle that Triz here would have to get. Put the Enterprise J in there, and then also put the Slime Devil Vandy Shield right in the Muds pack, and Triz there will be very happy. Let me get caught up on these invites though. So I think of this large list here of like 2,614. I'm pretty sure that was Infected Space Advance. So let me grab the ISC table. That was another 1,400. So now that I've got all the names pulled off the table here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and remove duplicates. So I'm just going to go to the bottom and select the entire column, basically. Yeah, we had quite a bit of thunderstorms here last night, but we had a few days that were looking really nice. So data, duplicates. Yeah. So out of that list that had like 6,000 names on it, it just removed 4,500 of them for being duplicates. So how many new invites do I actually have to send out? Not many. So I'm going to copy this, take it in game. Those invites are all sent out. Now I'm going to do the same for Prime. So where did I put that list at? See, me doing this on stream here, just make sure I remember to get it done. Because last week I completely forgot. So while I'm here too, I'm going to lower the entry requirement for DPS Prime from 600k down to 500k like I talked about. So there will be quite a few people getting invites with this now. Yeah, Martin, if I do, I mean, I don't know. I'm probably not going to open a full stack of like 200 keys in one go right now. If I have had anything sell, I'll probably be opening like 20, 30. It's not going to be much. Yeah, thunderstorms. I like watching them. There's been a few in the past few years here though. The wind is quite crazy with them. I'm in Iowa though, so we've had some of the, like we had that big Derico or whatever, like 2 years ago, and then I think it was in November or December we actually had one that was not quite as bad, but it was pretty damn close. Smile, Spencer, you're about to gamble. See, if I smile, you're gonna take pictures. I know you, Triz. That's what scares me. Okay, I'm gonna send out the updated list for Prime invites here after I get this done. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Gonna go to data, remove duplicates. Oh, I need to not do that. I need to actually just manually select the list here. So by expanding prime to 500K as the entry method, that looks like we're going and getting an extra 80 people in there. If I cannot drag the list too far. So copy, go in game. Invites are all sent out. Iowa is a tornado area. Yeah. Yeah, the Derico was crazy. No, Sam, so what I was doing right there, I was just sending out the latest batch of invites to the DPS channels. So if people have uploaded a parse via the STO combat meter that is over a certain number, they're going to be in the channels now that qualify with those numbers, or that upload would enter them for. Oh yeah, Martin. The lock boxes. If you could figure out the drop rates and understand a bit better going into it what the actual drop rates are, you definitely come out of it feeling a little bit better. But if you don't know what the drop rates are for those ships and you go in expecting, oh, I'm going to open 50 keys and you're hoping to get a ship, you're going to get screwed over. FD, WHK, yeah, 75K channel isn't deleted yet, but it will be at some point when I'm not lazy. Okay, so I'm going to go in game. Yeah, the issue with 75K is, like I talked about in the video where I announced the changes, is the channel, the power creep in the game has just outgrown it. Back in the day, 75K was enough to do elite content, and now that's not true anymore. Yeah, it's cheaper to buy ships outright. If I let me pop the display capture back up here. Over on the Builds Discord, we have detailed information in the Gambling Theory channel under the General Guides and Info. Gambling, it goes over what the drop rates are based on large opening samples. I think I turned my monitor too much there. But basically, we've done tests with tens of thousands, and I think with lockboxes, this data is based off an opening sample of 100,000 lockboxes over on the Triple Test server, and it has been confirmed as accurate with another test of around 10,000 on the Polydeck server. That basically for the first 300 lockboxes you open, you have a 0.3% chance to get a lockbox ship, and after the 300, you hit the pity point where it goes up to 2.4%. And then likewise for promo ships, the first 140 you open have a 0.7% drop rate, and after that 140, the pity point goes into effect, and your chance to win goes up to 7%. So yeah, that is the chances of winning suck. Let me catch up here. Yeah, I've had some very lucky days in the past when opening lots of lockboxes before, but 3 in a day is definitely pretty nice. Watching me gamble. Oh no. Yeah, Sam, the more character slots is always good to get. I think I'm at like 56. I'm only refining Dilithium really on like 52 or 53 of them, I think. Turn display capture back off, and let's head in game. I'm gonna start to do contraband rotation here. So this is the same as I've always done it, just log into the characters, collect rewards, spam F, then 7, 8, 9, repeat. I need to redo my keybind video for the contraband and the crafting keybinds, because the amount of people I've met that never saw that content is quite high. I thought those videos were fairly informative because the keybinds help, especially with crafting. Not going to bother with Admiralty right now. Rams, I don't play these. Like, the entire process of going through 50 something characters could be done in 15 minutes. So basically, just by having these characters stationed at a security officer, I just log into them, I collect the previous staff mission on them, and I start up the next one. It takes 20 to 30 seconds per. And if the game is not lagging too hard and you go through it really fast, like, it takes me this long to go through a character. Don't need to spend a ton of time on it. I only do the contraband on them because that's just so easy to do. Just turn it in contraband. 15, 20 minutes a day, and yeah, it's not great, but like on a dill event like this, I'm getting 150k dill in like 15, 20 minutes if I'm really speeding through these. That 150k dill, it's only $3, of course, but I find if I'm watching like a YouTube video, it's not really that difficult for me to do contraband and watch a video at the same time, or a TV show or something. I just buy the contraband off the exchange. The you can end up turning a profit from it even just buying it off the exchange. Mike, I'm doing good. May have missed a question or two in chat. I'll get caught up here when I'm a bit further in. Also, making sure to try and get some of these Admiralties up to tier 10 while I'm at it. Just starting up one mission in them to get that daily bonus each day. You saw that big chunk of Dilithium I just got there just for hitting tier 10 in the that Admiralty chain. The worst part with the contraband is waiting for the for it to let you to like click and load into the character, because you go through it pretty fast. If you do Admiralty on top of the contraband, then it becomes a much longer process, and there are certainly a lot of people that do that. If you're like unemployed, retired, whatever, and you want to play the game completely free to play, you would basically do what I'm doing now, and then you would stack Admiralty on top of it, and you'd be able to get like a good chunk of Dilithium on each of your characters daily. I know a lot of people that do that. Goss, how's it going? Yeah, with STO, there's a lot of things like this that you can do alongside watching a show or something, and you can get through them really fast. Yeah, if you are trying to max out your characters, that's where it becomes a very long process. But look, I'm already through how many characters in just the past couple of minutes, you know? Like, you could see that just doing contraband, it doesn't take much time. I'm spending If I weren't streaming, if I was fully focusing on this, I could get through this all in like 20 minutes. I've got a video even showing that up on the channel from a few years back. Uh, just speeding through this, and it's very easy to do, and that's at least without the Dilithium event, even just 50 characters, that's 100k Dilithium a day refined. It's not a ton in the grand scheme of things, but you know, if you're doing that each day, it really adds up. You took your 3200 Zen took exactly 14 days to go through. Yeah, it just depends on what you're trying to do with the characters too. Like, I don't have builds on these characters. Like here, these characters, the only change these characters have had done to them after completing the tutorial and getting up to level 11 was I put a Ferengi Nandi on them because I had that unlocked from the event way back in the day. So I've got that unlocked account wide. So basically, I just have all of these characters in a Ferengi Nandi, but they don't have any bridge officers. They don't have any builds on them. I've never played these characters outside of the tutorial. So that these characters don't do reputations. They don't play TFOs. They just exist to sit in front of the security officer and turn over contraband. Admiralty definitely is draining. I understand why people do it. And you probably will have heard me talk about it a few times how I think Admiralty needs to be nerfed, and that is because it is a very potent system. It's just that your average player doesn't take advantage of it. The people taking advantage of it are the people that have the massive like bot farms that are taking advantage of it. And you'll note that a lot of the issues we started to have with the Dilithium economy and the EC economy really started to kick up when they introduced Admiralty into the game. And it's because Admiralty prints both EC and Dilithium. I don't do this often anymore. I really should be doing my contraband daily. It's just sometimes it's, you know, sometimes I, you know, like anybody else, I get a little burnt out, and I think I've definitely been feeling that over the past few months. That's probably why I've been playing warships as much as I have been. Um, but it is a little thing that if you are persistent with it, it really allows you to get a lot of things free in the game. Catching up on chat. Let me catch up on chat here. I'm a little bit behind. Yeah, if Sam, Admiralty is really potent for sure. Triz, I know you like your paperwork or Admiralty. Yeah, Martin, I very much feel the same. Most of the time, I have a lot of Admiralty cards, yet I rarely actually go through and do them all. Asgard, I very much agree, and they are. I believe that they're a large reason for the current EC issues we have with the economy. And I think Admiralty is a large source of their income. In fact, I'm not going to get into specifics because I'll have people very angry at me, but I know for a fact that Admiralty is a huge source of supply. Oh no, I've got a message here. Okay. X Jim, how you doing? Yeah, Admiralty was more potent dilithium wise back in the day, but it's still, I think, is fairly potent EC wise. Dwayne, I don't know. Sam, the tutorial is getting revamped, yes. Um, so subs are actually in World of Warships right now, and they're a massive pain because they don't have much counterplay. I've been enjoying battleships and cruisers quite a bit. I had some time with some of the destroyers, but they ended up just not being much of my playstyle. So get back to contraband here. Yeah, they're redoing the Federation tutorial, because they want to just keep improving the initial experience that new players to the game have, and I think that they identified the existing tutorial as a weak point for the game. You'll spend the most time waiting for it to let you load into your characters when doing contraband like this. May as well claim some of these Admiralty missions, though, while I'm here. I'll queue up another Ferengi one, being I'm so close to tier 10. Even just doing a few small things with Admiralty can really stack up the time it takes for you to go through a routine like this. Like you saw me right there, like just going through collecting the previous assignments and starting up the new ones is adding a little bit of time, but it can be worth it. Yeah, I've been really liking the Des Moines too. Just figuring out how to play islands in that game and uh, just using them correctly to farm people, basically. It's a little bit to get used to, but if you can figure out how to sit behind an island, it's very beneficial. Trying to max mastery on all your ships. Yeah, I'd go crazy too. I hate setting up a new ship just to go through, set up the bridge officers, the trays for it, just to use it for one patrol. That's a bit irritating. But yeah, most of these characters, never touch them for reputations or anything like that. They, like I said, they literally just sit right at this NPC. I never took them to the tailor. Most of them still have just whatever randomly, uh, well, whatever the characters appeared like initially is what they still mostly appear like. Yeah. What I hate, so I bought the Annapolis the other day. That's the super ship version of the Des Moines. And I pretty much used all my resources I had left to get it, and that was it's a good ship, but it feels like a waste so far. Pretty much every time I take that in, I get just absolutely focused, especially if there's a CV in there. It's very painful to play. I haven't quite figured it out. I only started playing warships a couple months ago, so yeah, these characters I would not want to take into an ISA. If I took these into even an ISN, I'd look like the average STO player. Yep, Mike, I play World of Warships. I'm not that great at it, but I do play it. Yeah, leveling ships up is no fun. Catch up on chat here. Long-term goal is to have one psi, one engineer, and one tac. It's always good to do, at least, because like I'm not a fan of engineers, but they are really good on ground. That is one part of the game where engineers, it's great to have one set up. I did not play Dreadnought. What's wrong with being average? I don't know. My name on here is casual, but there's always sort of a meme. Rob, how you doing? Yes, Triz. If I have a chance to say something about engineers, and I said something positive, I said that they're good at ground. Yes, Ty. That's also good too. I've got Nick for that usually. Yeah, one of the first tier 10s that I unlocked was the Shimakaze, and I don't play it much right now because I've seen too many Shimikazes when I'm on the other ships. They go right into cap and die right away. Uh, and that was I may have fallen into that a little bit also in playing them. So I've just been focusing on the other ship classes really while I still figure out the game a bit more. Yeah, Trues, I see you're pretty high on the table. In fact, let me wonder where you're at right now. So Triz, I heard you're a casual player, yet I see you at number 18 on the DPS tables. What's going on, man? I mean, I could make him go out of the top 20 if I change this to by character. Then he goes to 23. Yeah, there's still quite a few people playing. Some parts of the game are a little less active than they were years ago, but there's still a good amount of activity. I think there's good communities for the lower end content, the high end content. I mean, it's surprising to me, and I've memed about this a couple of times. About the PvP community being dead. I used to do PvP. There is actually a fairly significant amount of people playing PvP right now. Like, there's more people doing PvP than there is high end PvE. I would say, like that are actually chasing and setting the records in the PvE maps. There's more doing PvP. Yep, Triz likes to portray himself as a casual, but that's all a lie, right, Triz? Yeah, I think that's why I stepped out of PvP was because it's there's just been too much cheese added to it. Really, is the best way to put it. There's too many mechanics in there that I'm just not a fan of. Yeah, if you wanted to get back into the game for PvP, I mean, you could do it. Just know that some of the really high-end builds, it's the same as back in the day. You're going to have to spend to get one of the more expensive builds, one of the more premium builds. But it's the same stuff as back in the day. You have to buy like certain ships, traits, things like that. The PvP endeavors are really fun. I can just slap together a build with Exodus on it, 2 copies of Intel Team, and it's brutal. It's not fair. Yeah, a PvP build is viable in PvE. All of the PvP builds are pretty much beam overload right now, so uh, they'd be, just about as effective as your normal PvP or more your typical beam overload player in PvE. Just they'd have more survivability, a little bit less damage. But now I'm basically through most of my characters now with this contraband, and it did take me a little bit longer than I was talking about, but that's me focusing on chat and all that too. So if you just do contraband and you have the keybinds to go through it really fast, it's a very easy process. If the things overload. Come on, let me catch up on chat here, Triz. Beam overload on the Mirror Dreadnought. I thought about picking that up, but I'm probably, with there being new stuff coming out next month, I'm probably just gonna hold off. And I know that if I got the Mirror Galaxy X right now, I wouldn't end up using it right now. Yeah, exactly, Asgard. Yeah, let me find the video. Ramsman, check that video out. It doesn't explain how to like install the keybinds into the folder. It's just a text file you drop in your STL folder and then you load them. So I'm probably going to redo that video here in the near future with a better explanation of how to actually load the keybinds. But basically, I hit numpad 7. That starts up the DOF mission I have selected. So I go here, collect rewards, I spam my F key till I have the mission, numpad 7 to start the mission, numpad 8 to refine my dilithium, numpad 9 to go to character screen. That's basically what those keybinds in that video do. And then there's some crafting ones that make crafting much easier. You can just spam craft things. Sam Triz is a weird individual, is the best way to put it. I don't think they're going to do T7. If they do another tier of ships, it's going to be like the T6X upgrades. But I don't think we would see anything like that until around October. That seems to be when they're doing those types of systems. Yeah. Ramsman, you try that out, it makes your life much easier. And the crafting one that I think is in that playlist, or those crafting keybinds should be in there. Basically, so let's say I want to craft these focusing lens, okay? Say I don't want, traditionally people would just go back through and they would click it all, select the quantity, things like that. Now, I've got keybinds where numpad 4 brings up the last thing I crafted, numpad 5 sets quantity to maximum, numpad 6 starts it. I can go through them that fast. Very, very good keybinds for crafting, and I think they're in the file that is in that video. Yeah, I agree, Asgard. It makes the community a bit more unique. Triz, thanks for stopping by, man. And I think Cables has another recipe to send you for rabbit stew. I think T7 ships would kill the game. You just have to look back to what happened with Delta Rising. They introduced T6 ships, and all of the people heavily invested into T5s. A good chunk of them quit the game. I think Cryptic knows a similar thing would happen, probably worse now after how many years of Tier 6 being the best. So I don't think it's going to happen. The only thing I see happening is further enhancements to T6 ships like the T6X upgrades. All things expired. Pretty much, Michael. That's exactly what I'm expecting at this point. It's just like we've got the T6X token. Now it's going to be like a T6Y token this year or something. Yeah, we'll have more upgrades to existing systems before we have T7s. Because, like I said, I fully believe T7 ships would kill the game. And I think the legendary ships are effectively meant to be like the tier 7 to a lot of people. Uh, they're improved over the existing versions. Yeah, and there's a lot of spec combos. Like I really want a Commander Command, Lieutenant Commander Temporal ship still. And one that when they come out with that, I don't want it to be like just an engineer focused ship. That's just absolutely terrible. Triz DC? Oh no. Let me make sure Discord is not on my screen right now. It's a good message I just got too. If you're on the DPS Discord and you want to get into the Prime channels here, which I still need to fill out these text channels, but if you want to get into the Prime channels, see the conversations, the builds, and all that posted there, um, put a request in the Prime Role Request channel, and me or one of the other mods will get you tagged up with the Prime role on that Discord. So, sent me a message. There you go. Terrible. Absolutely terrible, Triz. I am not showing that on screen. Kathy, how you doing? I don't seem to have had many things sell, so there's not going to be a ton of gambling, but I mean 20 mil should be a key or something. Where's the account bank on this bridge? No. Let me catch up on chat here. Yeah, Atreus, that is nice. That is I mean, because they know people like those skins, and they know that people will pay to get, a version of that ship with a slightly different skin or stats. Oh no. Yeah, Darth and I agree. If they could give us an ability like an upgrade to make it so you can turn a lieutenant commander spec seat into a commander one, that would be really nice. But I don't think they'll do that because to Cryptic, they can just monetize the ship again by selling you a different version of it that has those improved stats. Yeah, Martin, I've got a few discords. MB, how's it going? And MB, yes. Not much gambling. It is terrible. Whoa, I almost missed that. Somebody just messed up with the Delta Alliance off packs. 6 of them at 3 mil per. Good thing I didn't buy a key. I got the worst trade out of that box, but let me see if I got any good DOFs out of that. The Delta Alliance DOF packs are extremely profitable to open when they're under certain price points because they're the main source of the crit DOFs that everyone likes. They're also the way you get like Scramble Fighters, Attack Pattern Delta Prime. They are a big money maker when it comes to DOF packs. Like I know people that have went and opened a couple 100 million worth of Delta DOF packs and came out of it with like $1 billion plus profit. They're insane. It's just that the price on them, people are aware that they're really good now, so the price on them has adjusted to match the demand. I'll catch up on chat here in a minute. I just want to see if I got any of those good duty officers. Gonna delete all these uncommons because they're a waste of space. Yeah, single engine ships. I'd like, more unique designs is always good. What I want is a version of the Sovereign that's actually something that I'd want to fly. I did not get any good DOFs out of that. That's a shame. I made money on that because of the 2 blue crit DOFs that I got, but I, in this case, did not actually get lucky with these DOF packs. Oh well, they were cheap enough that that's not really much of a hit. Darthon, am I bringing you pain by selling those? Dwayne, I hope so. I would very much like to see that. I don't think anything I have posted has sold. There ain't gonna be no gambling. Inventory makes you nervous. You should see Trizander's, Martin. Take a look at Triz's when he's on his stream. He is the ultimate free to play whale. Like it is crazy how much he has, and he does it entirely free to play. Yeah, Waldo, we're also one of the things that we have to recognize, with a lot of this stuff too, is it's a dead period for the game right now because we're between major events. It's the quiet before the storm. On May 10th, the new content release comes out, and that's just going to massively boost up activity levels, at least for a little bit. I wish selling would be as fast as buying. Yes. Darthon, I'm sorry. If it makes you feel better, I only discarded about 5 of them here, I think, today. I've discarded many more on other days. Sorry. Okay, so I've got the best Endeavor roll that I think I've ever seen, so let's just re-roll this to something bearable. That's not really bearable. People on Reddit have asked, does anyone ever actually buy these personal endeavors? And I will say yes, I buy them all the time. Crit D on top of that, were they? Oh no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to have brought such pain to you. Whenever I'm doing endeavors, I usually just bring in a scatter volley build on my Delkina. The Delkina is a really fun little ship. I'm glad it's being added to the Infinity Lockbox here in the near future. Yeah, I buy a lot of reroll tokens. There's a lot of content in the game. I joke about the only content I play is Infected, Space Advanced, or Elite, or whatever. But the reality is, I play other content, just not as often, and I just don't enjoy it. You know? Yes, Asgard, exactly. Casual with the Endeavor rank. Devilish smile on my face. The So I've got to wait in here until the Terran ships return. It just depends on what it presents to me. Like, if it says go play a Lucari TFO, I'm gonna re-roll it immediately. If I see Iconian TFO, it's getting re-rolled. I have content in the game that I do not personally enjoy. I know other people may enjoy it, but you know, I everyone has their thing that they like in the game, and that's just content that I don't like. Um, do we think we'll get some kind of info on the summer event ship? They already told us what the summer event ship is. It's that the UFO uh from Farpoint Station or whatever. Yeah, that they already revealed it. It's the UFO from um yeah, the very first episode of TNG or something. You'll be able to have it with the if it's like what they teased at the Mission Chicago thing, yeah, the jellyfish looking ship, yeah. I don't have any stats on it, and if I did, I wish I did, but I can't say anything about stats. Mike, for anything like that, you just have to understand if you do want to gamble. Now, if you want to go further into this information, if you go to the Builds Discord, there's a channel down here under General Guides and Info for Gambling Theory. And this goes over what your chances to get a ship are. Basically, if you're just opening like 50 lock boxes, you're probably going to get screwed. But if you You open, like 300 plus, you'll probably get a ship. Spally dish, yes. I mean, it's something that people want. I know if Megla were here, Megla's a really big fan of UFO design, so he'll be really happy with that. But yeah, Mike, the chance to win a ship is really bad. So if you want a ship, it's more effective to just sell the keys on the exchange and buy the ship off the exchange. Buying a ship off the exchange is going to cost you typically around 100 keys, whereas gambling, you could put 300 keys in and you may not get a ship. There are lots of good secondary rewards, but it's up to you if you want to do that gamble. Yes, Gus. Oh no. Yeah. Let's go display capture off. Move on to the next battle zone. Oh no. Why am I Lisa's sending me messages too now? Oh no. People out in my living room are currently watching me and they're typing nice things to me. So I need to go to the Zenkethi battle zone, which I can't actually go to while I'm in here. Yeah, exactly, Dwayne. And Goss, that is exactly right though, man. You know it. 50 lockbox keys will get you the same value as a full AAA game. Didn't you know? Darthon, I agree, but I think it shouldn't have taken this long. Like being real about it, this ship should have been added to the Infinity lockbox a year ago, or not quite a year ago, 9 months ago. Like it should not have taken 15 months for this to be put into the Infinity lockbox. That's just ridiculous. It's just Cryptic seems to their management is not giving priority to add things to the older to some of these older systems. You see it with Phoenix, you're seeing it with Infinity now. They're allowed to add in brand new ships to Infinity, but as for spending the time to add an entire lockbox worth of content to it, can't have that now, can we? Oh no. Jared, how you doing? Yeah, the refit's going to take probably another year to be added to this rate. The Zap Fast weapons will be in the Infinity lockbox. You can actually go over on Tribble and pop them open right now and get Zap Fast weapons. They didn't lock those out. They've only locked the ship out for now on the test server. Amy, how you doing? Oh no, Nick. What annoys me about it the most, Goss, is we are getting new content alongside the ship, and I can't really talk about that because, as I've talked about before, people in the STO community get very, to be blunt about it, people get very bitchy when you start talking about leaks or data mined content, so I can't talk about that stuff. But they added a significant amount, just like what they did with the Parliament here for with the Cerritos coming out. Uh, why couldn't they have gone just a little bit further and just added a full lockbox worth of content? Wouldn't have been that big of a stretch. It's more of a challenge to win with 50 keys than playing Elden Ring. Terrible. Rob, you've already seen like all of the leaks. Terrible, Rob. Yes, you have, Rob. I realized too, my game sound has been off for this entire stream. Oh well. This is how I normally play the game. I usually just have the game sound off the entire time. There are less active instance? There's not. Me shooting that secured the zone. This is why often I'll just re-roll the Zenkethi Battle Zone one, it's because there's usually only one instance and there's how many people in it, so that could be a bit of a pain to do. These people just... This is the issue with this battle zone, is it's hard to get those kills. Let me catch up on chat here. Atrias, technically any of that information is available to anyone that has the right programs to look at their game files. You see, in other games that I've played, the data mine stuff, it's basically free advertisement for the game, you know? It's free advertisement. It lets people know ahead of time what is coming out. When I played Rainbow Six Siege, data mine stuff was posted right to the main subreddit for the game, and there were still, you know, people from the game's development team that actively participated on the subreddit. They just didn't care. But for some reason with Stowe, it's very, very different. Yeah, I think I missed some things. Yeah, Gus, the prices for some of this stuff, Cryptic is supposedly having the best years of STO, yet they're still heavily focused on putting most of the new ships and all that into the lock boxes and promo packs. That, let's be real, each of those ships that are put into the game is generating them at least 100 to 200 bucks. They get a lot of money for each lockbox or promo ship that sells. Yeah, Gearbox would not have bought this game had it not been very profitable. Best place to open lockboxes. We joked about the standing on the exchange at New Romulus Command. That was quite nice. Where else was there? The bridge on the Suliban cell ship's also pretty good. Oh no, people open them all over the place, to be honest. The one superstition that I still very much believe in is opening after somebody else wins. There seems to be something there with that. It's like when one person wins, you'll see another person win immediately afterwards. And I've had quite a bit of success popping open a couple of keys after somebody else wins. Yes, Michael. Exactly. And Atrias, I agree. I mean, the STO, the people doing the marketing for STO are, I don't know, I'm not the biggest fans of how their approach to it all is. I like having a knowledge of what is coming to the game a bit further out in advanced. You know, I just wish they would give us more info. So let me see if I can shoot any more of the Zenkethi here. Yeah, this is, like I said, why I just usually re-roll this one is because it, if there's a populated instance, it is just a pain. These people are going to be there before I even get a shot in. My weapons seem to like not want to do any damage there. There we go. Yeah, just pay attention. It's not guaranteed to work, but uh, like you'll often see if you pay attention when there's a new ship coming out. You know, you pay attention and you take a look at when people are winning ships. It's always in drops. They're in bunches. Yeah, Asgard. The Dalkina's a really fun ship. Yeah, Crusher. It definitely feels like it works somewhat at least. Feels like it has a bit better odds than normal. I wanted to get a review of the Dalkina done a long time ago, but I think by now some of you have probably seen or noticed. When I say I want to get a video done, and if I don't sit there and get the video done within those first few days afterwards, it's gonna be a while before it gets done. Best class in the game? What do you want to see with that one there? An engineer. Oh, you best class in the game. Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. I see what you did there, Goss. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. You know how I feel about engineers. I made that engineer for if I want to do any of the high-end ground stuff for like bug hunt. Because engineers actually are the record setters in but like maps on ground like bug hunt elite. They just hit really hard. But that's the only thing they're good at. Well, I guess they're good at what is it? When you need to do the heal endeavors on ground, they're good at that. Set down these bubble obelisks, gotta do this anti-proton damage. I think there's too many engineer biased people around here. I know we've got Goss. I know Rob's around, and Rob is the most engineer biased player I know. Rob gets very upset when I say bad things about engineers. Yeah, well, actually, the only thing people care about is infected. Didn't you know that, Goss? It's the only map in the game. Jimmy, I like that. That's the proper response. Can't jump over this thing. Yeah, I can understand the tactical is sort of bland because it is just raw damage boost, really. I think science is. I would have to say science is my overall favorite class. It's just because I like to do the min-max stuff that I just focus so hard on tacticals. Yeah, I'm done here. Oh, look at these great endeavors on ground. Just what I wanted. Yeah, so I started out with a Fed Psi, and then I went to a Fed TAC, then I went to a ROM TAC, and that ROM TAC, once I saw just how much more powerful they were, especially back in the day, I felt like I had wasted a ton of resources and was a bit disappointed at myself for not moving over to a TAC sooner. Nice, Ray. Yeah, so I have worked on. So I've got my original Fed size still, and it does fairly well. It almost took the top of the DPS tables a while back, like just a couple weeks back, but that run didn't go through because of I thought I could trust someone, but it just turned out that their DPS was too low. They didn't take the gateway down fast enough, so the run didn't go as fast, and I lost like 200k on this character. It's all Nick's fault. Yeah, I don't like EPG, right? EPG is, people talk about or complain about, a variety of builds. Every build has had people complaining about it over the years, but EPG is just, I think it's the laziest playstyle in my opinion. Yeah, it's sleepy to play. You just spam bar your abilities, everything gets sucked in and dies. There's not much of a skill requirement to it. Yeah, I try to answer every question I get, Boba, but there's going to be some that I may miss. And if you see him or McStew's chat, I don't know how the hell he keeps up with as much as he does, because even just keeping up, reacting as much as I am to questions here, I'm not getting a ton done in the game. It's mostly just if you're focusing on chat a ton, you're going to be focusing on chat a ton. Crusher, I would like that, but they're not going to do that. Yes, Goss. Mix. We have told him numerous times, rename his channel to Mix Stud, and I think eventually he's going to cave and actually do it. Jimmy, yes, I agree. All carriers have their tricks. Yeah, there's definitely. I'm not a fan of carriers too much because Cryptic has not allowed hanger pets to perform at a high enough level to warrant the negatives they put on the ships that have carriers or the hangar bays, but uh, I think there are some interesting carriers out there, I should say. Yeah, Atrias, I know. And Rob is very glad that you stayed at number 2 because Rob Rob doesn't want to have to go through that struggle again on his engineer. It was it was a bit of a struggle getting that run up for his engineer record. Yeah. Boba, I'm not too familiar with that specifically in PvP because I haven't played PvP too much. Uh, but I would hope like evade target lock definitely has some issues. I was talking to Brett about it. Uh, or Brett was telling myself and a few others about it a few weeks back, and it definitely has some issues. I think it'd be nice if Cryptic could address it, but Cryptic doesn't exactly address things for PvP in a very quick manner. If you'll note, I had a video back in like 2017 about PvP. This is STO PvP, and I talked about how the competitive rep did not even give the competitive marks from PvP. And here we are 4 or 5 years later, and they still have not updated that tooltip on the window. It still says that you can get them from PvP matches, yet 5 years later, they have never added them. So Cryptic does not exactly react to PvP issues in a very quick manner, if at all. Great, that I heard about that from Nick, and that is terrible. You're working on an engineer for a haste nanny or something. That's just disgusting. Terrible chaos. Glacial, I like that, Jimmy. Sam, they are not. They have no interest in it. Cryptic's target market for this game is the people who log in for a couple hours a week at most that just play the new story missions, and then that's all they do the events, things like that. Uh, those of us that play the game more than that, we are not Cryptic's target audience, and they are not going to do a ton of things to make our life easier, it seems, or fix systems that we would like to see fixed. Like, PvP should have competitive marks, and at this point, elite content in general needs some sort of new justifiable reward to encourage people to play it more, because people don't care about the crafting R&D boxes anymore. They just don't care. I was hearing some rain get through the window. Let's see if it's even raining still. Just a little bit of rain. Yeah, Crusher. Pretty much. They some people like it and some don't. Elite just they need to come up with some new system for Elite to make people want to play it. I think one of the biggest issues the STO player base has right now is everyone wants to set up, or not everyone, but a lot of people want to set their builds up based on these elite focused builds that can just absolutely crush elite content, but nobody actually plays elite. So people are investing in something that isn't going to help them. McStew, thank you for the $3. McStew, we were just talking about you. When are you gonna rename your channel to McStud? Yeah. And Triz isn't here to be really happy about you showing up. Triz left a little bit ago. Yeah, McStud is here. So McStud, I was just curious, how is that Polaron a beam overload threat tank build going? I've been having quite a few issues in red alerts. Yeah, people spend a ton of resources and get a bunch of things that help a lot in elite content, but you don't need half this crap to get through advanced or normal. I mean, normal, you set up a build with Mark 15 gear, have your bridge officer set up fine, you can probably blitz right through it. Advanced isn't that much harder. Um, let's see here. Terrible Goss. So Atrias, I think it'd be nice if there was some sort of elite exclusive reward, but I just don't think Cryptic is willing to spend the time to do that now. People go nuts about Vandy shields. What if there was like an elite exclusive Vandy shield that everyone saw and was like, "Oh, I gotta have this," What if there was a Vandy shield like that you could only get through playing elite content? Yeah, I agree that I've been guilty of that too. Arctor Chief there, it's when you show off a build like a really high end build, people will want to copy it, and especially if you show off a specific number in infected, they're like, "Oh man, this build just slammed." But there's with infected, there's also other context that they're not taking in, like the team that was in there. You know, um, if I post a run, if I show off like one of my really high end runs with the tooth or the sticks, I'm in there with a supported team that is massively boosting my DPS potential. Your average player doesn't have access to that. Most other content creators don't have access to that. Very few people in the game have access to those types of high end runs. And sometimes that information is not being detailed to the viewers of the video. They're not being told, hey, I got a really high number with this, but it was with this very specific group. I had this really capable team in there with me. And people will go and invest in the build, and then they'll have performance issues with it, and they just have a rough time with it. I need to regrow my beard. The beard was getting a bit rough with it getting a bit warmer out here. Waldo, I agree. Battle damaged Vandy shields would be amazing. And yeah, Goss, it's with anything that we would like to see, it would be nice, but how likely is it that the developers are going to do it? I don't think they'll do a higher tier of ships. I think that would just completely kill the game if they came out with tier sevens. I think at most there's going to be further expansion of the tier 6X type system. Imagine if we got like a tier 6Y token, that would give us just another console slot. And added like another bridge officer slot that's just an ensign or lieutenant universal. Like I think that would be really interesting. Yeah, Crusher, that's definitely an issue. MB piloting is always a factor, yes. 200K costs? Is that all? Such low DPS. Screwing with you. You do see that quite a bit. There's definitely a lot of DPS shaming. Thank you, Amy. I think more bridge seating would be good. And I think that there's going to be something interesting in the near future um, with bridge officers, so we'll just have to see how that pans out. Catching myself before I say too much. Yeah, Jimmy, that's definitely something. Like there are people out there that they're very hypocritical in what they'll complain about. They'll complain about people doing too much DPS, but at the same time they'll complain if people are doing too little DPS. I have seen that quite a few times before. Probably just another tack. To be honest, another tack for an SRO. Maybe make it just a lieutenant universal/universal spec seat. Imagine the options that would open up on ships if we could just slot any specialization abilities in it. Sam, the command seating stuff, like, command is definitely a bit more elite focused, I would say. As soon as I see like a ship comes out with Commander Miracle Worker instead of Commander Command, I'm a little sad. Like when I saw, looking back, when I saw the Sovereign back in the day, um, I was a bit annoyed that it was just another Commander Miracle Worker ship. I would really have loved that ship to have been Commander Command because in Elite content, Command is extremely good from both a tanking point of view because Suppression Barrage is just so insanely powerful. And from a damage point of view, you've got Call Emergency Artillery and Concentrate Firepower that are just amazing damage boosting abilities for torpedo builds. Ramsman, I can't say more there. The Gamma Vanguards are still very much worth it for non-feds, though. I mean, that is $100. So is that worth $100 to you? What do I think it would take to make drain builds desirable in PvE? I don't really know, Gus, to be honest. It's been so long since I actually sat down and looked at the full mechanics with drain. Like, I think there's a big issue with the Borg of having a lot of resistance. If you could fully like drain and shut down the shields on the Borg with just a drain build, that would be amazing. But it don't work like that. Well, Sam, surgical strikes wasn't good until this last month, so that's still fairly new for everyone. Atreus, that's not incorrect. The legendary Galaxy, the Ross class, is a better ship than the legendary Sovereign because the command seating does allow the Galaxy to be a more effective tanking platform and it allows it to be a more effective DPS platform. I'm pretty sure if you took the Galaxy into a split ISE run now, uh, the legendary Galaxy in a split ISE run with a really, really high end group, it could probably do 2 million. Yeah, that'd be interesting, Darthon. Convert it over to like electrical damage. I think that would fit with the theme. If you're draining their power and they're out, now you're doing electrical damage to them. Yeah, so Sam, it was basically the trade off the legendary bug ship. When that came out, that made surgical strikes actually viable. Gotcha, Martin. Yeah, the Argentinian currency I know is one of the ones that uh, can be a bit cheaper than USD. Because that is definitely something that is abused. Not by me, but by others. I would never do anything that would violate the STO terms of service. Just to clarify, on my main account, never. I see it. This messages on Discord. Yeah, Well, there was a lot of people abusing the Turkish lira a couple years back, and then Cryptic really cracked down on that. So Cryptic will crack down on a lot of the other currencies now. Aaron, um, just take a look at the Parliament and just imagine that. Set your expectations low, and you'll be disappointed still. Oh, the Parliament did get a secondary. It was just of the same specialization. I'm sorry, Aaron. Listen, I'm going to wrap things up for today. Thanks to everyone that stopped by. If you have any other questions or anything quick, feel free to drop them in. On Monday, I'm going to be doing a video about my recommendations for the event campaign. Check my DMs. Okay, I'll check them here in a few, Stu. Yeah, so I'm gonna check it now. Ah, damn it. Thank you, Stu. That was just what I wanted to see. Paul, pretty much. I would say it's. I can't talk about specifics with it. It's not going to be as bad as the Parliament, but set your expectations low. Yeah, no problem. MB, thanks everyone for stopping by once again. Thanks to all members. Goss, if you're still here, remember to change the name for Stu on your list over to McStud. Also, I gotta add Trizander to this list. Thank you, Cheers, for the membership earlier. But yeah, Goss, change McStew over to McStud, and together we can encourage him that it would be a good idea to rebrand to McStud. Yes, MB. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by, folks. See you guys again Monday on the Event Campaign 4 Recommendations video.